Alright, since I deleted the other video clips, I have to do them all over again. So here we go. Today, we had John triangulate this, put in this bottom piece here, which triangulates this mount and strengthens it considerably. Also, we came up here and put this mount on. This little curly Q mount is the forward mount, and we're going to take this mount off. We're going to eliminate this mount, and we're going to get rid of this one here. Take that out. I don't like being welded up to this cast steel back here either. These welds have a tendency to break from time to time. So that's that. Also, we talked about this rear cage area here. The top bar is on. Oh shit. The bottom leg, the lower legs are on, and we're going to this one's going to go up. There'll be two of these going forward. The carburetor sits here. We got to get a manifold set up here for that. So the carburetor is going to sit right there with a hole in the plate, the tray, and the gas tanks are going to be mounted right there side by side. Then the carburetor, and then this back here will be the carry area, the little tray area, and we'll probably put another tray up on top of the gas tanks so you can carry stuff when necessary. We're getting real close to putting this thing down on the ground and setting the head, which I got the head cut yesterday, and the races are pressed in and they're ready. This is now ready to mount on here. That's ready to go. Now the way that I determine the where the head angle is, we'll explain that to you here. So we have John, the owner of the trike and the driver of the trike. He will sit there on the seat because it's already padded and it's at the right height and everything, and then he will sit there and he will look right down through. He will look. That's what you want to see when you're sitting on the seat. You want to see exactly right through the middle of the head. Okay, where that spot where that on the ground. Well, now let's look at it again. That spot on the ground down there, wherever it happens to be, you put a mark there, and then you set your wheel there, and the axle goes right on top of that spot on the ground. That spot on the ground is called pad point. That is the pad point. That's how I determine angle of the head, and it's also how we determine the length of the front end. As once we know where the pad point is, that spot wherever it is on the pad point, we go up the height of the axle and measure back to the head. That gives us the length of the front end that we need to build. Then everything works properly. And you don't need to know about rake and trail and all that other calculated stuff. You just don't need any of that calculation at all. This is a much better, simpler, more straightforward, common sense way of figuring things out. Okay, today TJ and I came over. We dropped this thing off the work stand and put her on the ground. Looks like we got about 7.5 inches of clearance frame to ground, and it's sitting level. So that's that. When John gets here tomorrow, I think, we will work on putting the front end or the head on. Right now, we're putting the sheet metal on the armrests, cutting that, and it'll be pop riveted on. Okay, for now. All right, we got the sheet metal on. Looks pretty nice, and it'll do a nice job of keeping the kids' hands inside. It's all pop riveted on, kind of military-like. So now we get to foam them and put the upholstery on. Alright, today on John's trike, TJ and I engineered the armrest for the kid seats, got all the tabs made and got them welded on and in position. Now the next part will be to take this sheet metal and we're actually going to pop rivet it onto the outside edge and block this in, and this keeps the children away from the back tires. The rear tire sits right here, so this here blocks away the kid away from that to keep their arms and hands away from the tires. That's what that's there for. And that's what we got on his trike today. Okay, so we set the head today for John, and it's set where it runs. The head is set according to his line of sight, right down through the head, down to that spot which we have designated as pad point. So that's what he sees, right straight down through the head. That's pad point down there on the ground. Now the reason we do that is so that the handlebars are directly in line with the front end, and when he turns they will be right in front of him. There's no tiller effect at all. Go ahead and turn your handlebars. Yeah, see, they'll turn like that instead of, yeah, going way out to the side like that. Yeah, you don't want that. So this is going to be a slot car. Now the next thing for this, the head is set, it's welded on. Now we put the straps on. He's got those cleaned and smooth, so those go right up there. That's where the straps go. That's the next operation. So putting the straps on, tack them into position so that these two lines on both sides match up, and then it's a matter of heating, pounding, bending it in, and then welding it. And you just go a little bit at a time. And so we've done the top part. Now we're going to come around here and bring this up from the bottom up. We'll bring this up, and then this top part will be the last part, and it'll fold on over. So that's putting the straps on. Alright, straps are completely welded on, and it's 10 o'clock. I'm just going to let them cool on their own overnight, and tomorrow Johnny boy gets to grind them puppies, clean them up, spiff them up, make them look nice. And we're going to take a little piece of sheet metal, put in there, and it'll have a nice little curve at the front there to go up to the head. So that's it for tonight.